We're here today with the president of the Stark County Land Reutilization.
Let me correct you, not president, chairman.
Chairman, okay, thank you for that. Alex Zumbar, who also is, and primarily so, the treasurer of Stark County government. And we're here today to get a synopsis with Alex and legal counsel for the what we call in a popular use of the expression land bank, not the formal name, Dave Thorley, and also another key figure in all the happenings of land realization is Stark County Regional Planning Head Robert Now, and formerly with Louisville, right?
Yes, many years ago.
Okay, so the framework today, I've already shared with our guests, is where we've been on land bank development, where we are, and where we're heading. And so we'll start out with Chairman Zumbar with where we've been. And start from the beginning. I think the enabling legislation was passed by the Ohio General Assembly in December of 2008. So pick it up from there, Treasurer Zumbar.
Thank you, Martin. The formal creation of the Stark County Land Realization Corporation actually occurred in 2012. The Stark County Commissioners received a presentation from then Jim Rackauckus, who was with Western Reserve Land Conservancy District, or Thriving Communities Institute. This is the nonprofit corporation that Mr. Rackauckus affiliated himself with, and he went out to speak to counties about the creation of a land bank, because under his guidance and Gus Ferangus's guidance up in Cuyahoga County when Jim was the treasurer.
And I understand he started this way back in about like 2004.
I think it was bannered about, but they actually formally got it through the state legislative body in 2008. So that
Correct.
allowed counties then to create the land banks in counties. But the land bank is created by statute, and it must have, serving with the land bank, the treasurer of the county and at least 2 commissioners. That is the primary initial makeup of the board. Then the board can consist of 5 members, 7 members, or 9 members. But as you get into a larger board, there are specific requirements that the members must bring to that board. In this case, the Stark County Land Realization Corporation was initially created and still to this date has only 5 members. The 2 other members that round out the board is a member representing a township of at least a size of 10,000 or greater.
10,000 or greater.
In this case, that is member John Arnold currently. The initial member was Scott Hawes from Plain Township. The other member is coming from the largest municipality, and that representative in this case has been Lem Green, and he's been that designated representative from the city of Canton since inception. In 2012, interesting enough to note is that is also the time frame when a settlement had been reached with the state of Ohio and the Attorney General's office, Mike DeWine, with potential demolition dollars being made available through a bank settlement. And this was with, I believe this was with the...
Was that the tobacco settlement?
No. It was with banks which had been doing predatory lending.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the Moving Ohio Forward.
Moving Ohio Forward program,
was
exactly.
Right.
What came out of that.
Now, and just so we don't skip it, there also was a financial aspect, funding aspect to the enabling legislation of December 2008.
Correct. As treasurer, I requested from the Stark County Commissioners, in order to fund the land bank, there was a request made by the treasurer of the county to fund the land bank to the tune of approximately 5%, up to 5% of delinquent tax assessment and collection interest and penalties portion. So an additional 5% is set aside specifically for funding the land bank, and that comes from, again, delinquent real estate tax assessment and collection dollars, and that's the interest and penalties.
Is that the factor that will sustain the land bank, or is it insufficient to sustain it?
That is the amount that is being collected and is the primary source of funding for the operations of the land bank. All other funding to date has been from the form of a grant and also potential loan dollars that are out there if we decide to acquire a loan on behalf of a particular project that the land bank might be approached by either a community or a nonprofit that would like the land bank to assist in addressing the blight or remediation of that particular.
Now, just if you should have a sense now of the trend line from 2012 when we got started here in Stark County, now it's 2017, just roughly. What has been the trend in terms of collection of up to 5% of interest and penalties on delinquent foreclosed properties?
That amount has generated approximately just around $800,000 a year, a total.
From the beginning, or just, is
From
there
the
an
beginning.
upward trend?
From the inception, there has been a slight increase. I think it was 700, just under 700.
That's on an annual basis. On an annual
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah, because there's two collection cycles each year. There's a first half and second half collection, and the dollars are based upon each settlement. So in the first half, there's actually a little bit longer period. The first half collection cycle actually begins in August of the prior year and goes up into the close of collection, in that case February, and then it kicks up again from March until July. So you can see there's a little bit of a bigger window of collection of delinquent tax.
Now, if that was the only funding that the land bank had,
That-
how limiting would that be on the primary activity of the land bank?
That would only allow the land bank to do a fraction of demolitions, let alone acquisition of potential properties. It would require stronger matching commitments from communities, or maybe even an entire funding by that particular interested party in order to accomplish what has clearly been made today.
So it's vital that grants and other supplemental sources of revenues be made available to land banks for them to really be successful.
Yeah, let me put it in perspective. The Moving Ohio Forward grant funds totaled just a little over 2.343 million. We were able to leverage that by getting matching contributions from the municipalities and or other subdivisions that participated. There could have been several townships, specifically Plain Township, who pledged a match of up to $100,000. Pike Township kicked in, I believe,
Yeah,
$500.
the total local match under the Moving Ohio Forward was about $1.6 million.
Over the years.
Yeah, what that was through the period of that program.
2012 through 2014.
Okay.
So that was the local match for the $2.3 million grant that we received under Moving Ohio Forward. And under that program, we demolished
494.
430 odd units of residential properties.
Let's